Those of you that have seen some of Barefoot Gaming's reviews will know that we not only love to dig into sim hardware, like wheels and pedals, but joysticks and HOTAS setups as well. Having fallen in love with the VKB Sim Gladiator, I reached out to VKB to see where they were at with offering a throttle to use with their joystick. What arrived, however, left me in a pickle. You see, I'm not an actual pilot, and in fact tend to do all of my flight simming in virtual reality on the DOF Reality Motion Simulator. Unboxing the plethora of boxes made it very clear to me that this is not designed to be used blindly, and I not only would need to learn what these dials, switches, and throttles were all intended for, but that my knowledge on flight simming would need to improve way beyond flying around and shooting down enemies with an arcade type control. I was not deterred, and after a quick triple monitor setup and some jury rigging of keyboard trays and table space and a fair number of hours in Microsoft Flight Sim, it is time to review these mamma jammas. Not gonna lie, this was a mildly daunting task. You see, the way this modular flight control system works is you can take any number of any of these modules and stick them together. For example, you don't feel 3 throttles is enough? You want 9? No problem. Want 37 extension modules to go with your 9 throttles? Well, there are some limitations, but these truly are modular. Basically, you need one GNX USB controller, which replaces the circuit board inside one of your modules, as that is what goes to the USB on the computer itself. However, the one GNX USB controller daisy chains with one module to the next, meaning you plug a cable inside of one module that runs into the next, and the next, and the next, until you have the exact setup that you want. Now, to clarify, that does mean you need to remove the bottom screws from the modules and do some of the wiring yourself. Or if you like, you can buy a pre-configured combo direct from VKB, which would give you less options, but then there's no work on your end to put these things together. Did I mention they include screwdrivers to take these things apart? 'Cause yeah, they do. Some of the kits also include different colored and shaped handles, as well as extra screws, extra rubber feet for the bottom, replacement sides in case you want them all connected in a row, including if you want to connect it directly to your VKB Sim Gladiator. I also used the multifunction holder to not only put multiple modules together, but to do so in 2 levels. And I, for one, did not find putting them together difficult. In fact, VKB has step-by-step videos on YouTube showing you exactly how to do it. My fear was that after I followed their instructions and built this masterpiece of hardware, how in the world would Windows know what drivers to use, since every possible setup could be so dramatically and entirely different? Here's the thing, it just worked. Plugging in one USB cable, Windows detected it all of it, and every single dial, switch, knob, and throttle were all selectable in-game for all the modules. That is bananas. Now, I don't care if we get hardware or games direct from companies or developers, our only goal here is to give you a completely honest review. And it's time for some honesty. Everyone find their safe place. Are you ready? Honestly, each of the individual modules separately didn't feel especially impressive in my hand. I mean, most of the housing is plastic or ABS, with only the bottoms being metal. Even the parts themselves are all made of one form of plastic or another. The thing is, none of that plastic feels cheap. There is zero flex in the housing, and when assembled, it is a genuinely impressive piece of tech. And that's not even touching on the fact that the lights change from red to green depending if your flaps are up or down, or any of the plethora of LED lights that come on or off, changing depending on what is actually enabled or what you're pressing. Would I feel safe to drop this from a tall height? No. Would I worry about letting a 4-year-old play with this thing? Again, I would not. Well, except for sticky. I find whenever a 4-year-old plays with anything, it comes back sticky. Again, feeling like I'm going off topic. So praises only for all these VKB modules? I have 2 complaints. One, because the size of the module itself, I find the throttle is too small. The actual throttle sticks. Now, please keep in mind, I am used to what in comparison are massive HOTAS setups, and having my hand cover the entirety of the throttle alone. My number 2 complaint is that setting it up can be a chore in-game, since games will recognize it no matter how many modules you have connected and put together, but by default, every button, every slider, every switch, every knob, and the throttle will all come unassigned, which is good and bad because it's a lot of work. I should also mention that it takes up a fair bit of room, but I'm not really sure that would be deemed as a negative since it offers so very much that you can do with it. I'm still not sure what all the acronyms and abbreviations are on my setup, but I know I have more buttons and dials than I have ever had, not counting my keyboard. And I know what I've assigned to all of these buttons and dials. Like I started off by saying, this would be difficult, if nigh impossible to use in virtual reality, since there are so many freaking controls, but I enjoy it so much. You'll note I am now also running a triple screen setup. I still get in trouble with air traffic control when I try to land by a 7-Eleven for a Slurpee in-game, but it's possible that might be my own fault, and probably I can't fault the hardware for that. VKB has impressed the pants off of me again, which is one of the reasons I am filming this from the waist up. You're welcome, by the way. This is an incredibly versatile concept. The individual modules are not cheap, but they are built very well, and you can build the exact setup you like, or add to one you already have going forward. And that's our review. If I missed anything that you want to know more about, leave your questions or comments down below and I will do my best to answer. Thank you for watching another Barefoot Gaming review, and if there are other pieces of hardware you'd like to see us review, let us know. I kid you not, I was this close to building a sit-down cockpit for this. I will talk to you again really soon, and thank you for watching. See ya.